So with Star Wars Rogue One right around the corner, I think it's time to start talking about the next single independent movie that is of course coming from Disney and Star Wars. And this just so happens to be the Han Solo movie, which is of course going to see Han Solo, Chewbacca, and of course Lando Calrissian having their own space adventures. Now obviously, since this is another prequel we're getting, we don't really know which way it's going to go, but we do kind of have an idea of where it has to end up, which obviously being the Millennium Falcon being handed off to Han, and of course some of the other things with how they get in contact with Jabba and everything like that. Now recently, Kathleen Kennedy, who's of course heading everything over there at Star Wars with Disney, kind of got to sit down and talk a little bit about what the movie is going to feel like and what it's going to be like. And she says that the movie is going to be more of a space western, and it's definitely going to have a heist feel. Now obviously this has caused some concern among people. What does this exactly mean? And I think the closest thing you could really equate this to would be something like Firefly. Now Firefly was a space western when you look at that, and a lot of people love Firefly because they said it felt like Star Wars. And this is something that I think they have to be very careful with, but I think they're going to nail the feel of it because there's nothing currently out there that's like it. Now obviously when you talk about a heist movie, I think a lot of people are going to automatically make comparisons with Star Wars Rogue One, since, well, that is a heist movie considering they're stealing plans from the Empire about the Death Star. Now how far into tying into the overall grand scheme of things that we see in the Star Wars saga itself this might, go into, it's probably not going to be a lot, I would assume. Like, you can't have Han Solo like stopping by the Rogue One, cast before they ever get together, be like, hey guys, look, wink wink, nudge nudge, like, that wouldn't make sense because that's not what his narrative so far has said to us. So I'm expecting some sort of original story, maybe about how he gets entwined with the Hutts and everything, and how he becomes this person he, and eventually we know he becomes. And I think that's a great story to tell, and I think the backdrop of a Western is going to be awesome and very unique to the Star Wars world, and the cast looks great and everything, so I really cannot wait to see what they're doing with it. So I definitely like what they're, talking about here, and the paintings they're kind of evoking when they said like the Remington paintings, because those are very colorful Western paintings, which once again, that's awesome because that's going to look completely different than what we've gotten so far. So I'm excited. You guys let me know your thoughts on it down below.